Okay, so on this question, the points show different locations in Zach's town. Each unit represents 1 mile. So we got all these different places, and it's saying, what is the distance in miles between Zach's home and the store? Okay, so let's map that out. So we have Zach, here's his home, and here's the store, at least on mine. So how does Zach get from home to store? Well, let's just go straight and straight first off. He can go 1, 2, 3 up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over. Up 3 over 5 on my diagram for Zach to get from home to store. But they said, what is the distance? You should know that whenever they say distance, it means, well, here, let me bring it down here. It means straight line distance. So distance means straight line distance. So in other words, what we're really interested in is how far in a straight line between those two. This is really the distance right there. And how are we going to figure that out? Well, if we take these other two sides, we take these other two sides, and we can make a right triangle, can't we? This is the right angle right there. And so the side across from the right angle, that's the C. So you know what we're going to do? The Pythagorean theorem, right? A squared plus B squared is C squared. We use that anytime we have a right triangle. And sure enough, we have a right triangle. Again, you might say, I want to make sure the distance idea is clear. Distance means straight line. Or have you heard people say, as the crow flies? I don't know why we always use a crow. All kinds of birds fly. But anyway, people say, as the crow flies, meaning straight line distance. Whenever we refer to the distance between two things, we mean, like if you were to fly in a straight line. So that's what we're trying to find, C, the distance. And notice C is the longest side in the triangle because it's the side across from the right angle, which is always the longest side. That's our C. So that's what we're trying to figure out. The A and the B are the other two sides. So you can call this one the A and this one the B, or vice versa. It doesn't matter. So 5 squared plus 3 squared is C squared. So that's 25. 5 times 5, 2 times 3 is 9. Add those up. What's that? 34 is C squared, and then root it. C equals whatever the square root of 34 is. I'm getting 5.830, and they said round to the 10th, so just one place on this one. So I'll just cut it right there. This is a 3, so that means I just leave it 5.8. If that was more than 5, that 3 was 5 or more, I'd round to 5.9. 5.8, and what are the units? Well, miles. Because they said right here, everything is in miles. So it's 5.8. So this must be 5.8 miles. That makes sense. It's a little bit longer than the 3, because this is 3 miles this way, right? Because every unit is 1 mile. So that's 3 miles, that's 5 miles. So straight is a little bit longer, 5.8. But it's not a full 8, is it? This would be 3 and 5. That'd be a full 8 miles. If you go the long way, straight and straight, that'd be 8 miles. It's quicker to go directly, 5.8. But that's, of course, longer than 5 or 3, but it's shorter than going the whole way around. So there we go.